In this episode, we have my bro Tri. I met Tri over a year ago at the philosophy meetups here in Saigon. For this conversation, I needed to talk to a scientist. I want to find out what is the root of all evil. People say it's money, but I'm wondering, is that actually true? If you're watching the video version, you'll see that we filmed this video inside of a traditional Vietnamese tea house, a very zen feeling. And Tri had the cool outfit to match. Thanks, Tri, and thanks to all the listeners. Enjoy. Yo, what's up, guys? I haven't done like a live recording for a while. It's been mostly Zoom calls, and I'm here with my bro Tri.
Hey.
I needed to talk with a scientist for this conversation, so he's the one scientist that I know here in Saigon.
And we have a very special setting today. Enjoying traditional tea in a very beautiful tea house.
It's our first time here. It's really nice decorations. It's like a very zen feeling in here.
I guess we should like a little shout out to the tea house.
For
This
sure.
place called Tri Tako. Yes, very beautiful place.
Wait, so what is the story of this place? Like,
I have no idea. I'm not that familiar with the story of this house. But I think that the old owner, he just want to spread the word about Vietnamese traditional tea around the world.
So the topic of this conversation today is, well, like, people usually say like the root of evil is money, right?
Yes.
But I'm questioning, like, is that actually true?
Right.
So, but I guess the first question would be, what is evil? Like, what does that even mean?
Yeah, when I heard about the topic for today's talk, I was actually excited because it's a good topic to talk about, very philosophical. And the root of evil has, my opinion, has multiple layers. People say money, and then a layer deeper they say desire, And then is there any deeper layer even? And so let me break it down first. I'm gonna be a little bit nerdy here. So evil, as we say, it starts first in our world, let's say simple life form, a singular cellular organism. They're our ancestor on earth. And when they consider something evil, that means it's not good for the cell. Some toxic substance, for example. And so they avoid it, actively avoid the evil things. And what they consider good is something that benefits the cell, like nutrients, friendly cells, for example. And so what's evil is actually a noxious stimulus, things that's considered harmful for the cell at the simplest level. And then biology evolves, and now we have human. And in human, we have something special. That is mental simulation. And so we don't have to experience something directly, something physically, to know that it's not good for us. We first just simulate it in our mind. This thing is not good for me. This thing wants to harm me. And on the other hand, they simulate something that benefits them as well. And maybe in the process harming each other. And so it's internal evil within the species, and then interspecies evilness, meaning we harm the other organism in order to, for example, eat their meat, And for us human, we think about it first before we do it, or maybe we don't do it. And so the evil things become something imaginary, mental. It's no longer things that's noxious in the real world. It can be, like, for example, war can be very evil directly in front of our eyes. Like right now we have a lot of wars, which very evil can be considered objectively evil. to wage war and to kill innocent people. But then we also have the fight between good and evil in the mind. And I believe that's what people focus on when they talk about this kind of philosophical topic.
I mean, it makes sense when you say that evil would be something toxic.
Right.
So then it makes me wonder about what about like chemotherapy? Because it is something that causes damage, right?
Right.
Not only to the cancer, but to the whole system.
Yeah, you touch on that's very interesting because in biology we have a principle called homeostasis. We're familiar with homeostasis, which is to restore the balance in the body. Homeostasis, on the other hand, means that the right level of toxic, of harmful things is beneficial, such as exercise, right? Such as other kind of adaptation like heat or cold adaptation. So, yeah, biology is very weird. You have to harm it a little bit for it to become stronger or even to maintain it at all. If an organism is kept in a strictly so-called optimal environment, it will actually atrophy and die. So that's the very cruel basis of what we call evil is necessary. And I also don't think that that statement is necessarily correct either. So it's a mixed bag of, just philosophical game. We can speak about it all days and solve nothing. So I want to go so deep into the root of evil, which is the topic of today's talk, that is become something clear and even non-dual. So we touch non-duality here. You want to jump into it directly or any other question first?
I guess just before we jump into non-dual, what you said right now about like needing a little bit of toxic or damage, it makes me think of vaccines. Because isn't it like a little bit of the virus is in there? But it helps to make you stronger actually to fight the virus afterwards. So that makes sense. Okay, so how to jump into this non-dual rabbit hole?
I'm just afraid that I'm being too nerdy and I'm introducing too many concepts at once. It's better to set pace so we can go into it bit by bit by bit.
So what would be the first baby step into this rabbit hole? Oh yeah, we have tea here.
Right.
Awesome. Is it oolong tea?
It's green tea.
It's green tea. It's a premium green tea,
Yeah.
to be exact.
Yeah, that tastes different. Yeah. Oh, we have a yin yang here.
Oh, that's right. Let's start with yin yang. That's
Perfect.
a good one. Yes. So we know about yin yang. One cannot exist without the other.
Right.
Like two sides of a coin. People talk about happiness a lot, but how to have happiness if you know nothing about suffering? It's actually impossible. Even if we don't have suffering in real experience in the 3D world, we still have to know about suffering, at least mentally, to understand what happiness actually means, because it's just the rule of duality. Our brain cannot understand things that it cannot compare. And in this case, compared to something opposite. So it's the root of yin yang. For something to exist in our world, in fact, for something to exist and make sense in our mind, it has to have at least two opposite properties. And at first we call it yin yang, and then later, due to the directionality of information, we attach meaning to it. One side is good and the other side is not good. And then from there we start to have concept of goodness and evilness.
So far still duality.
Yeah, that's the first step.
Yeah.
That duality is necessary, But then people people hear about this kind of discussion and they immediately jump in and they say, no, that's not right. We don't need to have like 50% evil in this world. That's not necessary. And I agree with it. Again, we're human being with cognitive ability. We don't have to bring evil into the 3D world in order to understand it. It is needed, of course, but it can be just in our mind. We can conceptually understand what evil means in order to avoid it. We, in that way, we don't, violate any principle here. Yin Yang still exists, but we can choose which one to manifest, right? Because free will is a thing, no matter if you agree with it or not. There's some certain kind of action that people can make.
Also, like many scientists don't believe free will is real, right?
Yes, philosopher as well. And also there are many layers of free will. For example, Schopenhauer, he called the term the will, and that will is very different from the will of normal human. We can say it's the will of nature.
Cool.
Instinct, for example, or just how the system works. We cannot fight against it. Actually, we can fight against it, but we will suffer greatly for fighting. And that's the point. We had a free will to fight the greater will. Isn't that cool? You can rebel against anything you want and accept the consequence for it. It's all in our free will. We can choose to die, we can choose to live. And if we choose to live, but nature or society doesn't agree with us, we can choose to die on our term. And that's the ultimate expression of free will. People just say, no, you can't do that, you can't do this. In fact, you can. You absolutely can do something and then accept the consequence of that action. That's free will, right?
What is the next step now into the rabbit hole?
Okay, next step into the rabbit hole.
Because I'm still wondering now, like, because we've mentioned, like, like evil, like there's something toxic, and we do need a little bit of it, but at the same time, we don't need like genocide and wars and this crazy stuff. Like, so I'm wondering is it even possible for like these like atrocities to not ever happen?
All right. So one thing that's in this topic that people argue a lot about is the why. The question why. Why is it necessary to have evil? Why can't anything be just good? If the universe is so miraculous, can't it just create something that devoid of its own law, right? Create a new law, a new universe can only be good. Is it possible? Probably. But then there's a catch. It had to evolve into that point first. How to reach enlightenment? At first, you have to be stupid first. Can't we just be enlightened in the first place? Probably some sane have been enlightened, but then there's nothing special about them. They just work as intended in the system. So we talk about change here, and then I want to go back to the root of evil, which is change. The why comes to change. Evil is needed not because it is needed as an existing concept. It is needed for change. And then people would continue to ask, why we need to change? Why can't I be this way forever? Sorry to break it to you, but as long as humans understand we cannot stop time, scientific term, that means absolute 0 Kelvin degree. We have never found anything like that. And we even cannot comprehend such a concept of timeless existence. And so change is inevitable. That's not the right word. The right word should be continuous. It's unavoidable.
And even like for us to have these bodies that we have right now, it changed into this. So we've always needed change anyways.
And because things change, it creates direction. Things cannot just change without direction. It's to have directionality. And when direction exists, we attach meaning to it. This direction is called good. That direction is called bad. Positive, negative. Nature doesn't care, but people care. People care which direction is beneficial to them, just like a cell toward nutrient or toxic
So
substance.
now
right?
good sounds like survival.
Ultimately, we don't know which one is actually bad, which one is actually good in the long term, you know. If it's still obviously bad or obviously good, we just have to increase the scale. Like, how about in 1 billion years or 1 trillion years? Incomprehensible to the human minds. But for the universe, completely natural. It's been doing that since forever. Duality is needed for change to happen, which means movement. You know, the spiritual community like that term more, movement, change. So things interact with each other, which I call information. Interaction is information, and information is the expression of existence. Without it, nothing can be known at all. We need evils the same rate we need goodness. It will be different when we talk about the case in our society. Because
Right,
in that case, we had to put a smaller scale in that year, in a specific time. And then uh, an objective direction is needed. We cannot just say, oh, you killing people is, I don't know if it's good or bad. Nah, no, that's bad. That's bad. We can say it as a human in the human system. We don't use the scale of the universe to apply to a human problem here. You know. So we can go as deep as we want when we talk about philosophy or even physics. I'm not a physicist, so I won't go into that. Even biology. If we go deep into it, it's just the directions of information, how they interact, how they change. But for human, we absolutely have to discuss whether thing is good or bad, black or white. That's why we had the legal system. Without it, things would be very chaotic, you know?
And also, every country has their own legal system.
Yeah, they will have their own interpretation of what's
Yeah.
evil.
Yeah. You mentioned something about like it should be like 50% good, 50% evil, like, for a balance, right? It's like, do you believe that the world right now is at that balanced state, or is there more of one side?
It's always have to be fluctuation. It's the same as every kind of change. The changing itself needs to change. It cannot just maintain a strictly 50-50 balance.
It has a
It
flow,
has to
right? Yeah.
fluctuate.
Yeah.
And one thing that people often mistake in this kind of thing is that, yeah, you keep the balance, you know, you eliminate all the deviation and you have the perfect balance. In reality, it's not like a line, it is more like a coiling shape. At the same time, the balancing happen. It converges into something else. It have a direction. You know, in Taoism, they talk about making a circle. But after you start from zero, you go a whole circle and you end up at the star. It's not the same star anymore. It looks the same, but it's up one level. Imagine the circle is in the 2D world, and now stretch it into 3D, and you see this like circular staircase. You know? Seems to be the same, but up one level. And all kind of evolutions like that, constantly trying to find a balance point, which means not to fall off the staircase, but then to reach a new height. Just look at biology. It always try to find balance, homeostasis, as we mentioned. But it also needs some noxious things, homeostasis, like I also mentioned. And why it needed that? To evolve, to become something else. Of course, people will continue to ask like, why evolve at all? I want to stay like this forever. It's good enough. We met a friend like that. One time we had a philosophical discussion last year. I don't remember who, but he told me, no, I don't want to change. I'm already very pleased with my life. Very peaceful. It's good enough. Why do I have to change? And the answer is that you don't have to, because reality does that for you. You cannot stop the flow of time, at least if you're human. I don't know if maybe you become enlightened, you become a saint, reality becomes something very different. But for now, you have to accept that you cannot escape the flow of change, the flow of time. No?
So how do you think about this? Like there are some people, especially in the evil movie, people usually say that being good is weakness, and being evil is strength, and you need to have evilness to survive or to conquer or to win something. How do you think about this?
Right, that's like similar to some red pill videos nowadays on YouTube. You know.
Be strong.
Yeah. In order to be strong, you
Be a
have
real man.
to be some arrogant. You know, not necessary. You can also be good and very arrogant. Nobody stop you from being that. And you know, people always say that being good means you're weak. No, you can be strong and good, or you can be strong and evil. You can be anything you want. That's free will. And but the evil guys, that's just psychological. They feel strong because they go against the stream. See, just a young kid, a rebel. They want to feel that again, like a teenager. I'm rebelling against my parents, and now I'm rebelling against the world. Same thing, same feeling. Crave that feeling. Human just about feeling, man. Can't deny it.
Like fulfilling that desire again.
Yes, it's back to desire, and cannot escape desire, at least as a biological organism.
That's true.
It's how you direct that desire into what you want. It's not about shedding all of desire. Buddhism talk about it. You have to shed all desire in order to become enlightened. I think a little bit different. Once you become enlightened, desire will no longer be human desires. But the progress from here to there is not about shedding desire. It's about having understanding, and the desire will transform itself. You cannot use your own willpower to suppress something that's more primitive than you, which is nature. And you shouldn't do that as well. It's not good for anybody. But it's there for you to evolve. It wants you to become better. It wants you to evolve. Not necessarily better in our terms. Just become something that scientifically I can say that to be more efficient at processing information. We can treat evolution that way. So to avoid the idea of whether it is needed or not, by treating it as a neutral thing. Improving information processing is very neutral, mechanical. Just a mechanism of the world. This has been happening in the physical world, then chemical, then biological, and now spiritual.
Didn't Alan Watts say like the desire to remove desire is just another desire?
Yeah, of course, it's just desire, right? And we use that desire to do the thing we want. In the end, it's still desire.
And wasn't there like an experiment on rats that they removed the part of their brain that produces desire, and the rats just sat in the cage without eating food, and they just sat until they died?
And that's like active desire, you know? You cannot remove the desire of the cell inside the rat. If you put acid onto the cell still wriggle and react, which is a form of desire. The cell desired to avoid that noxious substance.
Right, trying to survive. Okay,
Right,
so
right.
this is making me think about, okay, like, so is it possible for humans to just keep the desire for the things that actually keep them alive?
Like instinct.
Like, I guess, like, what do we need? Like oxygen, food, water. People say shelter too, but not Doritos.
If something is natural, I think it's very easy to be kept. Famous example is the Buddha himself. After the Buddha attained Buddhahood, he was still alive. He didn't went directly immediately to Nirvana. He stayed for decades more with us, with human. He still ate things, drank water, you know. So the desire of the biological system still exists within him. Without it, the system would just collapse. And in his example, we see that worldly desire, the kind of desire that's considered not good, not good for spiritual, the spiritual process. It can be shattered, and at the same time, the more natural desire can be kept in harmony with a saint. The saint can still live among us humans.
It makes me wonder, why didn't the Buddha have the desire to brag and show how cool he is?
I go back to Sadhguru. This guy is kind of controversial. I don't know why, but yes, maybe his vibe, for example.
I like Sadhguru,
Yeah,
but some say that he's like arrogant or something. Or
kind of. But one thing about him, one time I heard about his story, and I feel pretty interesting. He said that he liked to ride big motorbike,
yeah.
and then after the awakening, he still rode motorbike.
Oh yeah.
And people ask him, "Why you rode motorbike? You're like a saint now. You should behave more like a saint." He said, "No. I can still be a saint and ride motorbike." And I think that's just natural. You can just do something that's not harmful to others. Just your personality. Don't have to destroy your personality. If you want to do something for entertainment, you can do it. As long as it doesn't harm other creature, it's fine, I think. Even you can be arrogant, as long as it doesn't harm people. You know? It can be, it's your personality. It's harmless.
I guess Sadhguru is really confident in the things that he says. But do you think that he feels superior to other people? Or inferior?
Whether he feels superior or inferior doesn't matter in the grand scheme of things, I believe. If you don't like him, allow yourself not to like him. If he like him, then allow yourself to like him. Just like he allowed himself to be the way he is. Allow it. If you hate someone, and even though you're on your spiritual path, it's fine, it's just hate him. It's fine. In my opinion, the hatred, as long as it doesn't destroy you, somehow it will help you on the way to understand why it's not needed, for example. I hate you, for example, and because of my hatred, I think about it, and then I understand that I don't have to hate you anymore,
True.
for example. So let's say some spiritual figures, they seem to be very arrogant and some even ignorant. And you look at them and say, I cannot accept this. This guy is supposed to be wise and humble. Why are they so negative? Allow yourself to feel that way. Think about it. Maybe you will realize something for you. It's not about them. It's about your spiritual path. And your interaction on the way, seeing them like that, thinking about it, maybe that's the key to your awakening. So maybe you will realize, oh, this feeling is very interesting, and now I understand about it.
I think like one of my favorite spiritual teachers who people usually say that he seems arrogant is U.G. Krishnamurti. Have you heard of that guy?
Yeah,
UG.
you sent me a video about him, and that's also my reaction. Damn, this guy seemed to not know about the truth, and he seemed to spout out a lot of nonsense.
Was he the guy?
That's the
Was
feeling.
he the Indian guy that he's like sitting like this, or the guy with like kind of long hair? Do you remember?
The guy does tend to yell at the reporters.
Okay, that might
Is that
be
the guy?
That might be UG. Then it could be UG Krishnamurti.
Yeah, probably him.
And he says that his perspective is coming from just straight up biology. That's his. That's what he says.
Yes, that's the one thing that I agree with him. That awakening can be very practical, biological. Let's say it like this. A system cannot evolve just one aspect. It can, but incremental, not to this degree, significant degree. To evolve this significantly, almost all major aspects have to come together. You cannot have something that's like a car, you upgrade just one part to, like you have a horse carriage and you just put a very big powerful engine on top of the horse carriage and you hope it to become a car. It's impossible. You have to upgrade the whole thing. In this case, it's the same. If you evolve something in your mind, your biology has to change. I think people familiar with the work of Dr. Bruce Lipton, and the other guy I forgot, the Italian guy, another doctor, his friends as well. So they work with people in spiritual retreat, and they go deep into themselves, meditate, and when they awake, the doctor would take a lot of biological measure, and they found out that this guy has some weird chemical reaction in them, and they are positive, of course. They upgrade the whole human being, not just in the mind, but the body as well. And he said that self-healing, even for very serious disease like cancers, it happens when the mind is free. And then the mind will pull the body together with it. Of course, he wasn't saying that, I'm paraphrasing here. But what I mean is that the whole system will go together. If you choose a direction for it, they will all go together. If you have good fitness, your mind would change toward that direction as well. And in the other way, if you have a clear mind, your body will naturally become more fit. I hope, at least. No?
It makes sense. It's like if you reduce toxic beliefs in your mind, then it should reflect in your body.
We don't have to think too much about it. We can think about it in a very practical way. Like, if you're knowledgeable, you will have better knowledge to take care of your body. And on the other hand, if your body is healthy, you can go out and learn a lot because you have energy to do it. Let's keep it simple that way, very easy to understand.
But still, like if you have like irrational fears, and then like if you go outside, if you believe like if the wind touches you, it's gonna hurt you, then you go outside and the wind touches you, you can start getting freaked out. It will affect your body somehow, right? In a negative way.
Absolutely will, because our body works in a kind of anticipatory, I forgot the word, but anyway, it will anticipate things that's gonna happen and react to it in advance. And we have a very good mechanism to do this. As I said, mental simulation. Before things happen in the world, it's already happened in the mind, and then the body will react to what's
Right.
happened in the mind, in your
Exactly.
body. There's a lot of research about this already, that what you think will have certain effect on your body, of course.
It's been good thinking now about when people buy the rhino horn because they think it will help them in some way, right? Like good for man. And if you believe it, I guess it will work. Like, oh damn!
Yeah, the placebo effect as well.
Placebo. I love
Yeah, yeah.
placebo effect. Yeah. So I'm thinking, going back to the evil conversation, like, so in the current state of the world with like whatever the wars, this crazy genocide stuff, like right now it seems like the flow is like producing more of the evilness, but like, so how to get it back into a more balanced state?
This is just my opinion. You can disagree with me all you want. I say that it will sow itself out, and in the process, very bloody. When either good or evil exceeds the other, it creates a very strong fluctuation in the system, and then that kind of energy, it's like you stress a balloon or some kind of elastic material, and it will hold kind of energy to snap back in the other direction. And when evil becomes too intense, it will trigger the opposite force. In this case, we call it good. But as in history, it's just fighting. Looking back at it, it's neutral. We just learn about it. This force fight the other force. And either side claim that they are the force of good and the other evil. At the end, it's just war. And how can war be resolved? They fight each other and all of them die. And then the new generation fix the mindset. It's the sad things of how humanity works. And when the energy is too high, it will have to blow itself out first before it becomes calm again. And so my prediction is that they will shed a lot of blood before they become calm again.
To get back to that, to that flow.
A lot of human behavior, very animalistic in nature. And still we claim ourselves to be the most intelligent being in this world. No man.
But also we know that we know that the person who claims himself to be intelligent usually is not. And humans have labeled themselves as the Homo sapiens, which I think it means wise, right? Like the wise ape or something.
Yeah. But although I don't think we're the wisest being, we're definitely very intense species. And nature really don't care about whether human is evil or not. They care about the intensity of our evolution. Let's say some viral species, some virus, very intense, very toxic, kill a lot of their host. Also, they wipe themselves out as well because they're too intense. The more balanced virus, they don't create so much symptom. They live kind of peacefully with the host, and they find the way to integrate the genetic material into the host in a very peaceful way, benefit each other. That's the one that lived the longest. I don't remember the exact number, but in our own DNA, there's like 30-40% of viral material there. During the billion years of evolution, we have a lot of external material in our own DNA. We co-evolve with a lot of other species. And the species that cause us too much harm, so intense disease, our body fight them to death. So if humans too intense, they may wipe themselves out.
That makes sense.
They should be more balanced.
That's what I'm worried about. It's like, what if like this like a flow ends up being like too much toxicity for the planet to handle?
But on the other hand,
The planet always
yeah.
is way too balanced. Like even though if it's not the war or something that come from human, it can come from nature, like the virus
From Ice
or even
Age.
like the natural disaster.
Yeah.
Like what we have seen in the past 10 years already intense to human all around the world, not only in Vietnam or any specific country, right? So even though that you try to control the game or something, you still too small for this big game. Like
I just wonder how would the planet handle it, because like there's several countries now with like nuclear weapons, right? So could the planet handle that?
You know the nuclear weapons of humans like child play compared to what our planets can do. If it explode a super volcano, it's like it can wipe out everything. It's much stronger than what we can do. Even if we detonate all our nuclear warhead at once, we barely scratch the mantle of the Earth, like the uppermost, the crust, not the mantle, just the crust of the Earth. We barely do anything to it. On the other hand, if the Earth decides to have a massive earthquake, the whole human civilization can be wiped out instantly. So, and we don't have to worry about the ecosystem. The biosphere has been survived worse than this.
True, right?
Yeah, much worse than this. So worry more about the human species, not about nature. Nature is so much stronger to incomprehensible level.
True. Yeah. Now it sounds like even if the human species is totally wiped out, nature will still survive.
Yeah, maybe after a billion years, it will create another intelligent being.
A little squirrel. I'm so smart. Dang. So then, what should we do? Just let things keep flowing.
I go to it a bit later, but first I got to say this: the more intense we are, the faster we move on this evolution path. Which means it's not necessarily bad, Of course, it's evil. Of course, it's objectively bad. But what I'm saying is that for the whole species, being very intense in this period can have the benefit of provide the energy for a lot of individuals to break the system and to do something new, something really novel. For example, if you have a lot of pain, you have a lot of incentives to break out of that cycle of pain. Same thing about evil beings, like the Epstein class, that's not being punished. People all over the world can look at that and they're very, very dissatisfied at the legal system. And that prompts them to change it sooner or later to be more justified. And so it's kind of okay to go through a period of such intensity, knowing that such power will eventually lead to simply faster evolution. That's to look at it from a neutral perspective. And now let's get back to, what's your question again?
It's just like, what should we do now?
All right. What should we do now, in my opinion, is personal development. We often talk about humanities, like it's the whole collective things. But nature is very smart. It doesn't rely on the whole species to do the evolution. You can just need one. One Buddha, for example. One Buddha is as wise as billions of other people. Jesus Christ is as wise as so many other people. Sometimes you just need one factor in the whole big community to break out the system, and then people will follow afterward. And so focus on your personal development. Be the change. That sounds very niche again.
Yeah, yeah.
You know,
But it's true though. But it's true.
stereotype. Be the change that you want to see in the world.
That's true.
So it's okay to temporarily feel a little bit arrogant, a little bit selfish, as long as you know that you're doing what nature wants, which actually is very simple. Improve the efficiency of information processing, whether it's in your body, your mind, whether it's science, whether it's spiritual. Improve your efficiency. Not like the hustle culture, of course. That's actually counterproductive, in my opinion. Be a good human. Be a better human, smarter. Even go beyond human if you want. Become a saint, become something else, become alien, break up the system. And don't worry, because if you make a mistake and you become the force of evil, like that meme, you live long enough to become something. If you accidentally stray out the right path, and you yourself become evil without your own knowing, it's fine. The system will fix itself. Somebody will come to defeat you. It's okay. If you cause harm to others, the system will get rid of you in its own way in meantime. So don't worry about it, because nobody knows what's the right path. We can only have hope. We can only have faith that we're on the right path, because that's okay. Nature already foolproof the process. And so use your energy to do what you want to do. If you're a good person, you'll do good. If you're evil, you do evil. Whatever you do, rest assured that the system will evolve with or without your consent.
What do you think about the claim that, like, so the other Krishnamurti, J. Krishnamurti, he will say, like, the root of the wars and all this evil is, he'll call it, like, he'll say it's ego, like the feeling that you are not connected to the world, so that you are an individual, everyone is an individual, and there's no connection between all of us.
It's fine to feel like an individual, and at the same time you can immerse in the feeling of being connected. You don't have to choose one and abandon the other. What reality gave you, you allow to experience it. And it gave you both. It gave you a sense of individuality. And it also gives you collective consciousness. Already, people keep asking, where is it? It's already in there. You don't know, because how can you know about something that's include you and much bigger than you? Just ask an ant, do you know about your hive mind? It doesn't know shit, because the hive mind includes the single ant, and it's much bigger. It integrates all of the ants. Same for human. You're already part of the collective consciousness, not just the earth, but the whole universe, or even beyond the universe. Who knows what else is there? But you won't be able to use your individual mind to know what the collective is thinking. You're part of God doesn't mean that you know what God's thinking. It's impossible. Still, you have that kind of connection already. Don't have to go seek it. It's there. Know that it's there. It's logical. It's not something miraculous here. Just logical. And at the same time, you're an individual. So follow your purpose. It's the task. If God wants you to experience a life of individuality, then do it.
What do you feel is your purpose?
As I say, I want to go on the path of evolution. And the word evolution here means very personal to me. It may not have the same meaning as commonly accepted. Because of my own interpretation of information, the concept of information in interaction, in existence. This is too boring to go into those. I want to break the mold, create something new. I guess that's the more simple way to say it.
Create something new, like in yourself or something out here, or both?
It doesn't matter. I just want something novel. You will never know that the new thing is good or bad because it's never existed. You are the first one to create. It can be mental in your mind. It can be physical, something you do in the real world. It doesn't matter. Still something new in the universe. The first one. And think about it, you're special. Everyone's special. Everyone can do something that has never happened. And the universe wants it. The universe wants you to experience, to experiment with new things. And as I said, it's foolproof. If you accidentally do something harmful, it will get rid of you. So it's fine, don't worry about it.
This random question just appeared in my mind. This conversation that we've had today, is it at all relevant to Wu Wei? Or how do you say in Vietnamese the word Wu Wei?
Vô vi. Yes, I think is quite related to the concept of Wu Wei. Wu Wei is not about not doing anything. It's about doing things that is in alignment. And then people ask, what's in alignment? Who the hell knows, man? Probably everything or probably nothing.
In alignment with what? Too?
It's your alignment. Or the alignment of humanity, or the alignment to the earth, or the alignment to the alien overlord somewhere that controls your brain. It can be anything. Just live your life, man. It's Wu Wei already. You cannot find Wu Wei because it's there already.
It's happening already.
Yeah, it's already happening. You cannot avoid it anyway. So why fight something that's already there? Right? You're born in the ocean. You've been swimming in the ocean since forever until forever, and you try to fight the water. There's no reason to do that. Just use the water to swim.
So now Wu Wei just sounds like the present moment.
Yeah, it can also
whatever's
be the
happening.
past and future. Then we don't have to just restrict it to the present. I think that the spiritual community had this obsession with the present a bit too much. You know, nature gave us mental simulation again. We can simulate the past, we can simulate the future. It's a gift. The animal do that very badly. Human can do that quite well. So use it. It's an ability. Don't abuse it. Abuse it means you live entirely in the past or entirely in the future. That's stupid, of course. But be balanced. Live in on three terms, you know?
Cool. Any final thoughts? Or any final message?
My final message is that I'm rambling too much and I hope it's entertaining. If you feel dissatisfied with this song, it's okay. It would be the fire to trigger some even deeper thinking inside you. I think that's a very good one. And if you feel satisfied, then congratulations, it's a time well spent.
It's a win-win. Thanks, bro. Thanks so much. Thank you. Subscribe and like. Sick.